Hi, this is I guess we can call this a continuation of a recent video that I made. And it's the video where I mentioned the news story about a man in Brooklyn, New York. If you haven't seen that, you want to get caught up, it's on my other channel. I'll have a link in the description of this video to it, so you can go get caught up. I believe it's Trine part 10. I think it's the beginning of part 10. In the intro there, I spoke a little bit about this. There were some things that I mentioned in the intro. So this is me adding on to that news story that I mentioned there. Now, for anyone that wants a quick rundown, what had happened is in Brooklyn, New York, there was a man who was crossing a street and someone was driving on a scooter, a moped, and they weren't looking where they were driving, and they ended up hitting this man who was crossing the street. They hit him, they knocked him unconscious as their scooter impacted him, and this man was left there on the floor after this happened, and the person who was driving the scooter, they pulled off to the side of the street, and they just stood there for a bit and watched the man who was unconscious on the floor. Yeah. If you want to know the full thing that I mentioned, it's the intro in one of my Trine videos. I'll have the link to that in the description. So, adding on to that whole thing, the situation, and what I want to say is that while I was here, I ended up remembering a quote. And the quote is, "The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing." And that is absolutely the truth. When it comes to something evil that is happening, being done, if good doesn't step in, if good doesn't speak up, if someone doesn't speak up, someone doesn't do the right thing, they don't speak up, they don't try to stop what's going on or intervene in any way whatsoever, then evil triumphs. Because, like the quote says, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. If no one stops evil, evil wins. And in that story, that's basically what ended up happening there. Evil ended up winning because no one stood up and said anything or did anything. Someone eventually did something, but at that point it was too late. Someone needed to have stepped up earlier in the moment, and they could have changed things quite a bit, possibly. The guy could have been caught, he wouldn't have gotten away. The man who was hit by the moped, the scooter, he could have possibly survived had someone stepped in and checked on him, called a ambulance sooner, emergency services to get him help, had someone with the necessary, some kind of first aid knowledge attended to him, they might have been able to help him, to save his life until emergency services got there and could take over. But one did anything. No one stepped in. And because of that, evil triumphs. The man who was 90 years old, he died when he could have possibly been saved. The person who hit him with their scooter got away. No one knows who it was. The only thing we have is the street cam video that he was caught on, and caught his face and the scooter, and it showed that he wasn't looking where he was driving. For some reason, he wasn't looking in front of him. Yeah. He could have been caught. The guy could have possibly been saved. But neither of those things happened because no one stepped up. No one did anything. Eventually someone did something, but by that point, it was a bit too late by that point. And that's how things are with any kind of situation. When you see something going on, if good doesn't step in and do something, someone good doesn't step up, and it doesn't have to be something big. It can be something small, simply checking on someone to see if they're okay. You don't need to do something big in order for it to have an impact or an effect. Sometimes all you need to do is maybe check on someone. Hey, are you okay? Hey, is everything alright? Or sometimes it could be getting more people involved so that they can help. Because maybe you don't have the necessary knowledge to help, because you don't have first aid knowledge. You don't know what to do if someone's unconscious. Get someone who does. Maybe make a little bit of noise. Be like, hey, this guy's unconscious. Does anyone know what I should do? Can anyone help him? Just start speaking out loud. It doesn't take something massive for you to be able to change things, to help someone. Sometimes all it takes are a few words. Calling emergency services. That's not a hard thing to do. Everyone has a cell phone nowadays, or you can borrow someone else's, or you can ask them to call for you if you don't have a cell phone on you. Be like, hey, this guy's unconscious over there. Can you call emergency services to come and check on him and take him to the hospital? It doesn't have to be anything big. The tiniest of actions can have so much impact, so much effect. So it's not like a person has to put themselves in danger to change things or to help. You can help with small things. You can do what works for you and is safe for you to do. Now, if you're someone that, maybe you're a kid or something and you see something happen, well, not everyone is a safe person in the world. So if you're a kid, the best thing for you to do is to let some adults know that you trust and let them handle it. Yeah, so going back to what I was saying, sometimes that's all it takes. All it takes is one small, tiny thing. And that one small, tiny thing can have so much change. It can have such a huge impact to cause so much change. It can stop the triumph of evil. And we should go back to the quote. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. yeah, that, I can't believe what I saw happen there. There were so many people around this man. It was in Brooklyn, New York, a highly populated place. A whole bunch of people saw the accident happen. They saw when the guy on the moped, the scooter, ran into the 90-year-old man. They saw him go down on the ground, and they saw him unconscious. And no one did a thing. They stopped, they watched, and that's it. They just watched. And then after that, I guess a lot of them just walked away, and everyone else that passed by, they just ignored the man that was on the ground in the middle of the street. This man was unconscious in the middle of the street. A 90-year-old. I don't know what's going on with people, how they're so detached. They're like, how could they let that happen? How could no one step in and do something? How could no one check on him? How could no one walk over to the man and say, hey, are you okay? Is everything okay? No one walked over to him. No one tried to shake him to see if he was okay. Nothing at all. They just stood there staring and then walked away afterwards. In New York City, of all places, a highly populated area, a 93-year-old man just laying on the ground, and no one cared. No one cared enough to do something to check on him. I don't know what's going on with people in society lately, but it's things like this, like these, and it wouldn't have taken much. It wouldn't have taken much at all. But no one did anything. That's the issue. That's the problem here. Because no one did anything, evil triumphs on that day. This 90-year-old man who could have potentially been saved, possibly, he died. And the person who hit him, who could have been caught, got away. And no one knows anything about that person. I don't know what's going on with society, the current state of society, how people are. That's not right for no one to have done anything whatsoever. Someone did call emergency services at some point, but it wasn't fast enough. That's not good enough. It took too long for that to happen. Someone should have done something in the moment, within a minute of it, 2 minutes. Maybe they were in shock, and that's understandable, but after that wears off, someone should have done something. Someone should have checked on him. But no one did anything. That could have been someone's father, their brother. No one did anything. Their uncle. Or one of those people that were there. What if that was their uncle, their father, their brother? I'm pretty sure if it were their relative, they would want someone to do something. They would want to know that every possibility at saving his life was, everything was met. And there was nothing that could have been done to prevent him from, I'm pretty sure if it were their father, their brother, their loved one, they would have wanted to know for certain. They would have wanted someone to help him. I don't know what's going on with people in society, and New York of all places. New York is one of the most populated places in the world. Brooklyn, New York. This was a very busy area. You could see on the camera when they were showing it, the street view, there were several people there in the frame. A lot of people. No one did anything. If you see something, say something. Your words don't have to be over the top. They don't have to be perfect. Just get some attention to it. Maybe you don't have the knowledge to help. Speak up. Hey, this guy, he's unconscious. He just got hit by that moped, that scooter. Does anyone know what to do? If you don't know what to do, maybe there's someone there that does. Maybe they'll come over and help. I don't know what's going on with people in the world. I don't know. And if you're someone young, you're a kid and you ever see something happen, a guardian, adults that you trust, if you don't have adults you can trust that you can get, there are always emergency services. You can reach out to them and let them know what you saw. That's another thing. Yeah. Again, if you're a kid or something like that, not all adults are safe. Not all people are safe. So you have to be careful. Evil does exist, and there are evil people in the world. So you do have to be careful. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. And on this day, if there were good men there, they did nothing. And because of that, evil triumphed. We have to do better. We have to be better. We have to be better. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening. I hope you have a blessed day.